Hi everybody, we're going to read The Dark, Dark Night. The author of this book, the person who wrote the words is M. Christine Beller and Jane Chapman. What do you guys see on the front of this cover? I see many animals. I see a rabbit. I see a frog. I wonder what all these animals are doing. Let's read so we can find out. The Dark, Dark Night. Frog was very excited. All winter, he had been asleep under a stone, and now it was spring. He was on his way back to his pond. On the way, he bumped into Badger and Hedgehog. Then he played leapfrog with Rabbit and Mouse. So look, this is Frog. He's excited that it's spring. And he was going on a walk and he bumped into Badger and Hedgehog. And then he played a game. He played leapfrog with Rabbit and Mouse. So look, he's getting to see all his friends. Badger and Hedgehog and Rabbit and Rose. And let's see what all these friends are going to do together. Maybe they're going to play together. What do you think all the friends are going to do together? Suddenly, he saw that it was getting dark, so he borrowed a lantern from the mouse, and off he went through the woods to the pond. Whoa! The wind blew in the trees. Squeak, squeak went the lantern as it swung from side to side, and the dark was all around. When the frog reached his home, he put the lantern down behind him and was just about to jump into the water when he saw... So look, this is Frog, and he's holding a lantern. Remember the lantern? It's a type of light that's around us. So Frog took the lantern from Mouse to go into the woods, because it's very dark in the woods. If he didn't have the lantern, how was Frog wouldn't be able to see. And when Frog reached his home, Frog put the lantern down. But he saw something. I wonder what Frog saw. What do you think Frog saw? Maybe he saw his friends? Do you think he saw his friends? Or do you think he saw something scary? What do you think Frog might have seen? A huge black pond monster with enormous claws coming out of the reeds. So look, Frog saw a pond monster with enormous claws coming out of the reeds. So look, this is what he's seeing right here. Do you think that's a monster? Look at what Frog is doing and look at what the monster is doing. Do you think that is really a monster? Look, the lantern's here. This is Frog, and he says he sees a monster. Do we think that's really a monster? Let's find out and see what that could be. Frog grabbed the lantern and hopped as fast as he could back through the woods. "It's a huge monster in the pond," he cried. "Are you sure?" laughed Hedgehog. Frog nodded, trembling. "All right," said Hedgehog calmly. "We'll have a look together." "And I'll come too," said Mouse. So look, Frog took the lantern. So do we see the same monster? I see something different here now. So look, Frog took the lantern. He went to his friends and he said, I see a monster. I saw a big monster. And his friends ask him, where did you see the monster? Let's see what's gonna happen next. Are they gonna find the monster? Let's see. Run for your life, yelled Rabbit, racing back through the woods with Hedgehog and Frog close behind. What's going on? Asked Badger. So they told him all about it. Come along, Badger said. I'd like to see this monster of yours. And off they went once again. Woo! Howled the wind. Squeak, squeak went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse. And the dark was all around. So look, all the animals are running because they're scared because they think there's a monster. So look, they're all running. They're all running. Look, and they're all carrying lanterns. Look, lanterns. If we remember, they're a type of light. Do you remember if they're natural or artificial? What do we think? Right, they're an artificial type of light because lanterns are created. Good, so look, all the animals are holding a lantern and they are running. I wonder where they're gonna go. Where do you guys think all these animals are going to go? As they reached the pond, a huge gust of wind came through the trees and blew out all the lanterns. I can't see a monster, said Badger at last. That's because it's too dark, whispered Frog. And there they all stood waiting in the moonlight for something to happen. So look, now the lanterns are off. So their lanterns turned off. So now they're wondering where. They're saying, Badger says, I can't see the monster. And Frog says, that's because it's too dark. You can't see the monster now because now they don't have light. Their lanterns turned off. Just then, Mouse caught up with the others at last. Woohoo! She shouted, waving from the bank. Badger, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Frog looked at Mouse. And then they looked at the small black shape waving from the reeds. Look at that, said Hedgehog. That's not a pond monster, said Rabbit. That's Mouse's shadow, said Frog. I can't believe it, said Badger. You are running from your shadow every time. So look, in the end, this was not a monster. Look, it was a shadow. Because their lanterns were on, they were able to see their shadows. So it was not a monster. It was a shadow. So look, here it is. Here is Mouse waving at all his friends with the lantern. The four friends laughed and laughed and laughed. Hooray, cried Frog. There's no monster after all. And with a huge happy splash, he leaped into his lovely pond at last. So look, Frog is leaping into his pond because now he knows there's no monster. It was a shadow. It wasn't really a monster. It was just a shadow. The end.